On the night of July 3rd, 2022, a man named Anoop was sleeping in his room. Suddenly, around 2, he heard the voice of his younger sister, Komal. Her voice sounded scared. He quickly got up, opened his door, and stepped outside. Komal was standing right outside his room, crying very badly. Her hands were hurt badly with deep cuts, and blood was falling from them. Shocked, Anoop asked, "What happened to you?" Komal, still crying, said, I was sleeping when someone suddenly came and covered my mouth. I got scared and woke up. I saw 2 men cutting the throats of our mother and father. After killing them, 3 people took all the gold and expensive things from the house and ran away. Anoop felt scared and shocked. He quickly ran down to the ground floor and went to his parents' room. When he looked inside, he saw both his mother and father lying still, covered in blood. They were not moving. This terrible sight made Anoop scream loudly. He fell to the floor and started crying. His loud cries woke up the neighbors. Many of them came running to his house. One of the neighbors quickly picked up his phone and called the local police station to tell them what had happened. By around 3 a.m., the police reached the house. What had really happened that night? And why were the parents killed in such a cruel and painful way? Let's find out in today's shocking and twisted case. In a city called Kaipur in the state of Uttar Pradesh, there lived an elderly couple named Munalal Gupta and Raj Devi. Munalal was 62 years old and had retired after working as a manager in a factory. Raj Devi, who was 58, was a homemaker who took care of their home with love and care. The couple had 2 children, their 30-year-old son, Anoop, and their 25-year-old daughter, Komal. The family lived a calm, simple life. They were happy and had no known problems with anyone. On the night of July 3rd, 2022, everything seemed normal. The family of 4 sat together and ate dinner. After the meal, they all went to their rooms to sleep. Anoop, the elder son, went upstairs to his room. The parents and Komal had their rooms on the ground floor. But what happened later that night changed everything forever. As part of the murder investigation of the elderly couple, a team from the forensic department reached the house. They carefully looked around the crime scene and collected all the clues and things that could help solve the case. The police officers began their work by questioning the family members. The first person they spoke to was the elder son, Anoop. When the officers asked Anoop to tell them what happened, he said, "I was sleeping upstairs in my room. Suddenly, my younger sister came outside my room and started crying very loudly. I quickly stepped out to see what was wrong. That's when I found out about this horrible incident." The police then asked him, "Do you think anyone could be behind this? Do you doubt someone?" Anoop took a deep breath and replied, "In 2017, I got married to a woman named Sonika. But after the wedding, I found out that she had mental health problems. Her family had not told us about this before the marriage. They hid the truth and still arranged the wedding. When I came to know the truth, I decided not to stay in the marriage. I sent her back to her home and filed for a divorce in court." He paused for a moment, then added, "After that, her brothers started bothering me. They kept pressuring me, saying I must pay 50 lakh rupees, first as a settlement. Since then, they've been troubling me again and again. That's why I think they might be behind this crime." The police listened carefully. Anoop's story raised some important questions. Was this really about a broken marriage and revenge, or was there something more? To be sure, the police decided to take a closer look at Anoop's room. When they went upstairs to inspect, something strange caught their attention. There was vomit near the door right outside his room. The officers asked him, "What's this? Why didn't you clean it?" Anoop replied, "I wasn't feeling well last night. The food I ate didn't suit me, so I threw up. I thought I'd clean it in the morning, so I left it there." His answer seemed casual, but the police didn't want to take any chances. The forensic experts quickly collected a sample of the vomit. After that, the police kept searching through different parts of the house, looking carefully for any clue they might have missed. They opened drawers, checked under furniture, and looked at every corner. Once they were done with the search, it was time to talk to the next person, Anoop's younger sister, Komal. The officers sat down with Komal and asked her what she knew. Komal calmly told them the same story she had shared with her brother the night before. Her words didn't change, and she seemed sure about what she was saying. Next, The police wanted to find out if there were any security cameras or CCTV cameras around the house. These cameras might have recorded something helpful. They walked around the neighborhood checking buildings and asking people. While doing this, they noticed a camera fixed on a house nearby. The camera was facing straight toward the home where the murder had happened. The police quickly went to that house and spoke to the people living there. They asked for the footage from the camera and were given the recordings without any problem. Back at the police station, they started watching the video carefully, minute by minute. As the police kept watching the CCTV footage, they noticed something very important. A person wearing a mask was seen walking toward the house where the murder took place. This figure was clearly captured on the CCTV at exactly 12:17 a.m. The same person wearing a mask was seen walking out of the house. This time, the person was carrying a bag. After seeing this part of the video, the police felt sure this person was the one who had done the murder. But the video also brought up a big question. Comhall had told the police that 3 masked people had entered the house that night. If that was true, then how did they all get inside? The doors and windows were all checked very carefully by the police. There were no signs of anything being broken. No lock was forced. No glass was shattered. Everything was in its place. So if 3 people came in, why wasn't there any damage? How did they get inside without breaking anything? There was another strange thing. Kamal said 3 people came into the house, but the CCTV camera showed only one person going in, and the same person coming out later. There were no other people seen in the video at any time. The police had another big doubt about the timeline of events. Comhall said she went outside Anoop's room and knocked on his door at 2 a.m. But the CCTV footage showed that the masked person who entered the house had already left by 12 a.m. As the police started to piece everything together, they began to strongly suspect that Komal might not be telling the truth. They decided not to share their concerns with her right away, and quietly began to look into her background more closely. What they found shocked them. They discovered that Kamal wasn't actually the biological daughter of the elderly couple. The couple only had one child, Anoop. After Anoop was born, they couldn't have any more children, so they decided to adopt Kamal. While the police were still checking Kamal's past, the post-mortem report arrived. It said that the elderly couple had been given sleeping pills. At the same time, the forensic team tested samples from Anoop's vomit. The results showed that Anoop had been given sleeping pills, too, since all 3, the mother, the father, and Anoop, had sleeping pills in their bodies. The police acted quickly. Komal was arrested and taken in for more questioning. During the long and tough police interview, Komal finally told the truth. What she said shocked every police officer in the room. Komal had known since she was very young that she was adopted. She had heard this from other relatives many times. From early on, Komal often heard relatives say things like, "Since you're adopted, you won't get any share of the property. Everything belongs to Anoop, so don't expect too much or get your hopes high." These words hurt Komal deeply. She felt sad and different, like she didn't really belong. Some relatives even teased her and made her feel like an outsider in the family. But despite all this, her adoptive parents, the older couple, always treated her with love. They gave her good food, nice clothes, and everything she needed. Komal never felt like she was missing anything. To them, she was their true daughter. Life went on quietly without many problems. But then one day, Komal went to visit a relative in a small village called Shahjahanpur. She used to visit this relative now and then. During these visits, she became friends with a young man named Rahul who lived nearby. Actually, Rahul was a distant relative of Komal. In fact, they were cousins, or you could say like brother and sister, because of their family connection. At first, Rahul and Komal were just good friends. But over time, their friendship grew into love. Rahul got a job as an ambulance driver at a military hospital in Goa. Even though he was far away, their relationship stayed strong through phone calls. Rahul had a younger brother named Rohit. Rohit often came to Komal's house to deliver gifts that Rahul had sent for her. Because of these visits, Komal and Rohit met often. They would talk and see each other under the excuse of handing over the gifts. Slowly, Komal and Rohit's relationship became more than just friends. In fact, their bond turned into a secret physical relationship. They kept this hidden very carefully. Rahul didn't have the slightest idea about it. He never even guessed anything was wrong. Komal kept calling Rahul regularly, speaking softly and lovingly, making him believe their relationship was strong and perfect. Komal was living a double life. She was connected to both brothers in different ways. She was in love with Rahul over the phone, and at the same time she had a secret physical relationship with Rohit in person. One day Rahul called Komal and said there are talks about marriage happening at my home. I told my family about us, but they don't want to accept it because we are cousins. That's why I think we should run away and get married secretly. But when Komal heard this, she answered carefully, I can't run away like that. My father has a lot of land and money. If he arranges my marriage, I will get at least half of his property. But if I run away, I won't get anything. All the wealth will go to my older brother Anup. When Rahul asked,
So what should we do now?
Komal answered,
We can kill all three of them.
When they are all gone, the entire property will be mine. Then with all the money, we can live a very happy life. But after hearing this, Rahul became very scared. Because of that fear, he told Komal, If we go ahead and kill these three people, the police will definitely catch us. There is no way to run away. I can't do such a thing. But Komal kept pushing Rahul again and again, saying, Only if these three people die will I get all the property. I don't want to live a life full of problems and struggles. That's why we must, no matter what, get rid of all three of them. At last, tired of her constant pressure, Rahul gave in and agreed to everything. Once Rahul agreed, Komal told him who all lived in her house, which room each person slept in, and what time they usually went to bed. She shared all the details with him. The two of them talked about how to carry out the plan. After that, Rahul told Komal his own idea. Since Rahul worked in an army hospital, he said, I can get some sleeping pills from the hospital through my younger brother. He will bring those pills to you. Keep them safe. When the time is right, mix those pills into the food of the three people, your father, mother, and older brother, who, according to their plan, on July 3rd, 2022, Komal put sleeping medicine into the fruit juice and gave it to all three of them, without telling them what was inside. All three drank the juice and then went to their own rooms to sleep. At that time, Komal's older brother, Anup, felt something was wrong with the fruit juice. He threw it up and said he would clean it later in the morning. Then Anup went to his room. After they fell asleep around 11 p.m. Komal messaged her second boyfriend who was waiting outside the house on WhatsApp and told him to come inside. When Rohit came in, the two of them went to a room together and spent some private time. After enjoying those moments, they moved forward with their plan to kill. Together they went to the room where the father and mother were sleeping, tied their hands and feet, and then Rohit cut both of their throats with a knife. Because of the heavy bleeding, the couple died very quickly. After making sure that both the father and mother were dead, Komal and Rohit went outside to Anup's room. At that moment, they heard some sounds coming from inside. They realized that Anup was not affected by the sleeping medicine. They knew that trying to choke him inside the room would cause big trouble, so they decided not to try it. Not sure what to do next, Komal suddenly thought of a plan. She took the knife from Rohit's hand and cut her own hand. Then she collected all the jewelry in the house, put it into a bag, and gave it to Rohit. They got ready to leave. Komal then made up a story that some attackers had broken into the house, killed her parents, and ran away. Around 2 a.m., she cried loudly and screamed. When Anup came outside, she told him that 3 people had attacked her. She said that while they were leaving, she saw 2 of them and felt they were relatives of his wife. Komal also told this to her older brother. After hearing everything Komal said, the police arrested the 2 remaining men, Rohit and Rahul. When the police asked Rahul and Rohit more questions, they said exactly what Komal had said. After hearing all this from the police, Anup went into a deep mental shock and finally understood the whole case. So, this was today's case. What do you think about it? Please share your thoughts and leave a heart in the comments. Thank you.